Well, today we're showing a product that launches today on Kickstarter from the world famous Peak Design. Hey folks, welcome back to techgooch. And I am always pretty humble when somebody sends me something to take a peek at, and in this case I get to show you something that actually launches today. And so if you're watching this on Monday the 19th, this is actually the day before, but on Monday this product is launching. So I am putting a link down in the description where you can actually take a peek at this directly on Kickstarter, and definitely don't go over and check it out. It's not an affiliate link or anything. They allowed me to see this product in pre-production, and I am very, very gracious because of that. So Peak Design, thank you very much for trusting me to showcase this product and show it to my viewers at least. But, like everything Peak Design has ever sent me, I'm a huge fan of it already. And I've been using it, yeah, it's actually changed some of my thought processes in what I was looking for a long time. I think it fits the niche in many scapes, or many areas very, very, very well. And I can't wait to show you. So let's get right into it. This is the media kit that they sent me, which came with a whole bunch of different mounts. So let me get started by bringing it in. So we're going to start this process by looking at the case itself, and I've had it on my phone now for a little bit. If you watched my other videos, this is a very, very slim little case. It actually has all my logos on there, but you can see the design, or the thinness of this case is pretty awesome. It is not quite as thin as this, which is just a polycarbonate shell, right? This is an extremely thin case for having a mounting structure that it has. This is what I've been using for mounting it on my bicycle for a little while, which has its ups and downs. But I went away from the quad lock just because of how bulky the case was, specifically in the center of the case. I didn't like it. And this one also latches on a little bit stronger than the quad locks out there do. However, this is a metallic. This is actually a metal piece here, which is great. It's really, really secure, but I can't use a wireless charger with this. So I don't I don't keep these cases on my phone. I have two for two different colors. I use it on my bicycle. I use it on my motorcycle. Nice mount. I don't have anything against the mount. It works good. But this, even as thin as this is not as thin as the Peak Design case. So this new mobile mount for Peak Design has a case that I love. It has a really good, elegant look to it. It has this kind of fabric feel, exactly the same kind of fabric that they put into their bags, which I also like. And then this square block here in the middle, which at first wow, is that metal or what is that? It's not. It's zirconium ceramic. So the best part about this case is, while it has this zirconium ceramic block that actually locks into its hard mount. Mounts really, really well, hard lock mounts. There are four magnets in here as well that line everything up. However, it is compatible with wireless chargers. Whether or not it's from Peak Design or any other company, you can still use your wireless charger with this case. It does allow it. So, big plus. I can then take this and chuck these out of here, because now, this is going to take over where I can keep the case on my phone at all times. I don't have to constantly switch back and forth if I'm going out for a bike ride or going out for a motorcycle ride or whatever. I am good to go because they make a mount for all those scenarios as well. Now, today we're going to go through several of the mounts that they have sent me. I don't have a moto mount yet, but they are bringing out moto mounts in multiple different fashions, from a bar mount to a stem mount, mirror mount. They are bringing things out. So, yes, and then we'll get to this one here in a second as well. But yeah, I just wanted to show how thin, how awesome this little case is. It feels good in the hand. It looks really good. It's got, your little Peak Design logo on there, right, as well. So you know it's a quality material, quality product. There goes my thin case. Let's get into this wonderful set of products. So, everyday case, that's what they call it. That's the box that it came in. next one, or next two we're going to talk about, and then I'm going to have to go out and show you because I have these in my actual vehicle as well as on my bike. So they have the car mount, which they are going to bring out a wireless charging car mount as well that works, so it keeps your phone charged while you're doing it and you don't have to plug it in. And then we have the bike mount Pro. They also are bringing out a standard bike mount that can basically just wrap around the bar quick with a kind of a, what do you call it, a rubber band type material, like a lot of mounts out there have actually. This is an aluminum hard lock bike mount that I love. Absolutely love, and I can't wait to show you this one. I'm also going to do another video on this on my Bike Geeks channel. I'll link that at the end of the video as well as down below, so if you want to get more in depth on this one, I'm going to do an actual video specifically on this on my Bike Geeks channel. Okay, so that's those two mounts. We'll go over those here shortly. Then we got wall mounts, which I have one upstairs being used. They actually, in this case, they send two of them, which literally is just a little block. Now this block is what they call the soft lock mount. It doesn't actually lock the phone to it, right? The phone just sticks to it with the magnets. And so actually, if you see here, it just, boom, bombs right on it. And that's because there's those 4 corner magnets, which also lines it up, right? So if I'm at an angle, it, boom, locks into place, right? You can feel it. The nice thing about it is, you know, you can tune it in all 90-degree aspects. So if you want your phone landscape mode versus portrait mode, you can easily pop it on there. This sticks onto any surface using the VHB, the 3M VHB tape, very high bond, really awesome tape, but it also is magnetic. So if you have a magnetic surface, you don't even have to use the adhesive. And that's what I have upstairs. I actually have one of these sitting on my refrigerator. So whatever, I'm in the kitchen doing something, I can stick my phone there, listen to whatever, and have it out of my pocket or whatever. But just more than anything else to show what you can do with it. That's what I have. I don't have it adhered to anything yet. The vehicle one is an adhered one as well, so that's a stick-on one, and that's what I'll show you with that. Okay, so here we have the wall mount, and like I said before, it is magnetic as well as also has the VHB tape on here. So if you're just using the magnet, in this case on the side of a refrigerator or on the front of the refrigerator or wherever you're going to place it that is magnetic, and then you have a place to stick your phone. Real quick and easy, and of course, at any 90-degree angle, it'll work just fine. It's basically those 4 corners attached to those 4, you know, the 4 magnets essentially, right? So if you turn it, you can tell when it kicks over. You're not going to be able to put it at 45. It's not designed for that. But it works fantastic. And the magnetic bond between the mount and the actual appliance is definitely, or whatever surface you're putting it on, is definitely better than the magnetic attachment to the phone. So you're not going to peel it off of there. But it is still pretty easy to pull off yourself. So not difficult at all. So that is the wall mount that they're bringing out with it. What's happening upside down? Whatever. Universal adapter. For those of you, maybe like me, that have a case that you typically use, or to be honest, if you want to include another product that is not a phone, this is just what it appears to be. It adapts any device, case, whatever, to the Peak Design Mobile structure. So it's just that zirconium ceramic plate with the 4 magnets, right? And so then you can actually use it with any of the mounts. Just uses VHB tape. So I can actually adhere this to my favorite case, right? So if you have a specific case that you really want to use, or like I said, let's say you had another product altogether. Maybe you have a GPS computer or something that you want to use the Peak Design mobile mount system with. Well, as long as it has at least a decent size flat surface for you to stick this onto, you can adhere it to it. So this is something that makes the system even more usable with more products that maybe don't have cases or are not phones, right? You don't have to use this with a phone. It can be used with anything that is this size. So while it's, you know, you're not going to put something extremely heavy on it because it is designed for a phone use, it is very usable and allows you to put something into the system that currently is not supported. Out of the gate, they are supporting iPhone 11s, all of them. This is an iPhone 11 Pro. iPhone 12s, all of them. And they are going to be supporting the mag lock capability that iPhone 12 is going into. So that's pretty awesome. I thought that was awesome in that press release that they released to us just the other day after Apple did their event. And then on top of that, the Galaxy S20s, all the S20s, they're also going to support those too. So that's out of the gate. They have plans to bring more as well. So I just wanted to bring that up while we were talking about that. Then we have one of the coolest little things that I thought it was awesome. As soon as I saw it, I was like, that is freaking cool. This is the mobile tripod. You can see it actually comes with a little protective sleeve so you don't scratch things up if you want to put it in here. I just put it in there for video purposes. I have not been keeping it in there. I've just been chucking it in my back pocket or keeping it on the phone or chucking it in my camera bag. This little thing is pretty sweet. Now you can see that it actually has you can see where the mobile mount actually it kind of goes to. It doesn't have a hard lock, so it doesn't actually lock onto it. It has the magnets on it. And so it just pops into place and it holds really well. Now you can keep it on your phone like that, right? You don't have to do anything, and so it's ready to go as soon as you're ready to go. And there are some really cool modes with this. So you can see where it actually just pulls out, and the engineers that designed this deserve a raise because this thing is pretty sweet, right? You can just use it as kind of a set desktop mount. Both you can. And the nice thing about the mobile mount is that you can quickly and easy change it to a landscape mode rather than a portrait mode. So if you're watching a movie, this works fantastic. You can also go into full tripod mode, which basically the legs just kind of come out, right? And then you have, maybe I'll put it up without the phone on there so you can see it better. Full articulation. There is a ball mount down here, and you want to use this for, taking a time-lapse photo or something or whatever, or just a group photo. This is a fantastic way to do it without pulling all the big stuff out, right? Throw it up on a rock, and then I can still adjust the angle any way I want because it's a ball mount. So I have that capability. Also, the amount of friction they have on this ball mount, of course, out of the factory is set to what they deem as the perfect friction setting, but you can change it really easily. Included in the third leg, or the outer leg here, is, if you actually push down, kind of see it stick out there, is a little Allen key, right? That's the wrench. Now this wrench can be used on the legs as well, but also down in here, you can actually adjust how much pressure or how much tension is pushed on that ball. So if you want to increase the tension a little bit, you can tweak it to your liking. So, oh man, that's a little too loose for me. You can easily change that. It's up to you. And then magnetically attaches, so it's not going to pop out on its own. And then even when you have this folded up against the phone, you can tell that it's actually on the inside side. So it's not going to, something that isn't going to just kick it and hit it and knock it out. It is there securely and safely. These guys thought of some awesome stuff when they designed this little tripod. I was blown away by this. I mean, the case I thought was awesome. Right out of the gate, just looks good. Even the back side of the case, even to keep it as thin as possible. Let me pull it off my phone here real quick. They thought of just to even back, to keep it as thin as possible, the fabric that you can see behind here is just fabric thin, right? I don't know if you can see how I'm flexing that with my thumb because it's actually just the fabric. So it's just there to give a nice aesthetic appearance, keep you from scratching your phone up while you're, while you just have the case like this. But of course it's going to be hard because your phone's hard, right? So it just looks really good. They could have just not had the fabric there, and that's just a small little touch, I think, that added to it, in my opinion. And so that is the mobile tripod. Works really, really well in so many ways, but is really handy. There's a lot of times that you could actually use this tripod for more than just taking pictures, right? Videography, and also if you actually put it back together and you put it in landscape mode, now you have a handle, right? So you have that quick, selfie handle essentially, or just a videographer's handle in general, right? And you can use that both in portrait and in landscape. You have your hot dog on a stick, right? You have your corn dog handle. So that is the Peak Design tripod. Now, what I want to do now is I want to actually go out and actually show you the devices that are mounted. And we're going to start with the vehicle mount, and then we're going to go to the Bike Mount Pro, and then we're going to come back in here to wrap things up. So let's go take a peek out in my vehicle. So as you can see here on my dash, this is let me zoom out here. This is a 2019 Toyota Tacoma. So you can see the various dash materials and stuff. I have lots of buttons, big radio. Every vehicle is going to be different in how well it's going to mount to that specific vehicle. But anywhere you would have a small flat space, right here, over off to the side over there if I wanted it further away from me. that's where you can mount this. So this is, let me zoom back in. This is the mobile mount for the vehicle from Peak Design. It basically has just a small cylinder disc here on the bottom that I have sticking up. I can also equally put it on the face coming out with a small stem and then a ball mount on it. Now it uses the VHB tape, so it adheres really well. The bond is very high, and if you need to remove this, they typically recommend using floss. Just kind of floss it, put it against the adhesive and just kind of slowly work it off. And then just take the rest of the adhesive, if any residue is left on there, with your finger or some painter's tape or something like that. You can usually get that off real quick and easy. That said, it takes about 24 hours for it to fully bond, so that as well. So when you stick this and you find the location, and to be honest, Peak Design recommends this as well, I actually stuck the mount to my phone first, and then I used the phone to try to find different areas that I could place it, and then find the spot that I think works the best in my vehicle for me, and everybody's going to be different. This may not work as good for you as maybe putting it down, right? I wanted it up so I could see if I was using directions or something like that. I do have a navigation screen here, but it doesn't have CarPlay, so it doesn't have fully integration with my iPhone. So I don't always use the navigation on the radio. Sometimes I use the navigation on my phone, and then it just Bluetooths the stuff to the radio. So in my case, I put it up above, and it works really well. I don't know, your angle is a little bit different. My angle for me is the hood is actually still above this, so this is not obtrusive of what I can view. I actually see my hood still above that. That's from my viewpoint in my seat. The mount itself has kind of rubberized material that the phone pushes against. The four corners of the magnets suck it up against it, and then that rubber actually keeps the phone from moving at all. And then in the middle, you can see the little metallic or the aluminum kind of peg that sticks up, and that actually centers on your actual mount on your case, so that it not only keeps it 90 degrees, right? You can't put it at a 45, but it also keeps it so it literally, even though the rubber keeps it from sliding around, it can't slide down. So even if you hit a big bump, it would really have to dislodge from the magnets for it to pop off. And I don't see that happening unless you're doing something with your vehicle that is really intense, right? So for 99% of applications out there, this will work with no problems at all. And it's just that easy. It just pops on. You can feel it lock into place. Those four magnets line up perfectly, and it just sucks the phone right to it. And then same thing if I go landscape mode, you can feel it pop on. And that's the big thing about this case, this mount, and this case system altogether, is that it works really well, really fast. So it doesn't take long for it to just pop on, and I'm gone, right? And then quick access, this is still using the soft lock. There's nothing that's actually physically holding my phone to the mount. That's going to change when we get over to the bike mount. You're going to see the hard lock mechanism on that. But in a vehicle, you typically don't need that. You're not worried about those kind of forces. If I'm on a bicycle or a motorcycle, things are a little bit different. This falls off, it's falling in my vehicle 2 to 3 feet. Falls off on a motorcycle or a bicycle. It's not only falling off, it's falling off at 25, 55, whatever miles an hour. So they don't really need a hard locking mechanism in the car. It also makes it quicker and easier to get it up and off, right? So, vehicle mount, fantastic. They are also bringing out a wireless version, charging version of this. So this will be a little bit probably thicker and bigger. And then you'll have a charge cord actually going to this, so that when you pop your phone on here, she's charging the phone up at the same time. So pretty cool and pretty awesome in that regard. When my phone's not on it, as you can see, not too crazy in how much room it takes. It's not pulling my attention away from whatever. Where I placed it as well, it's not in the way of my dash cam or anything. Now, of course, I change dash cams like people change socks. But in this case, it's my favorite vehicle mount I've ever mounted in my vehicle. I have had a magnetic ball kind of one in the past that I really liked, but eventually it kind of gave out on me because of the amount of space. You need a pretty large mount on the vehicle to really stick good, and the one I really liked didn't stick to the vehicle as well because it didn't have as big of a VHB mount, and it had a lot more torque on it because I think the magnets were almost a little too strong on it. This Extremely well done, extremely elegant. The case is awesome. Yeah. So let's head over and let's take a peek at the bike mount. Okay, so this is the bike mount. Now this is the out front mount from Peak Design, and I'm going to go more in depth in this actually in my Bike Geeks channel, so I'll link that as well. But I'm going to show you at least this is a hard lock mount that Peak Design is bringing out. Now the moto locks as well, the moto mounts as well, will also be hard lock mounts, and what that means is you actually have a mechanism that actually locks the mount to, or the phone to the mount, the case to the mount. And you have a button on each side that does the exact same thing. You don't have to hit both. You can only have to hit one to disengage the mechanical lock. So, in this case with my phone, and again, the magnets popping on there real quick and easy, it is a solid mount, right? It is not going to come off. I can actually lift my bike up with this if I really wanted to. And then all you have to do is just kind of slide your hand in, hit the button, and so if I do it from the angle, you can just, basically what I do is I push with my finger and pull up with my thumb to pull it off the magnets. That's all you're doing is unseating the device. And so that, of course all these notifications keep coming up. That lock, quick, easy, just like the vehicle one. And then you can also do the same thing. We can do it in landscape in addition to portrait mode. There are more ways you can mount this. So, and of course I have that. So you can actually, if you prefer to put it in landscape mode, you can actually take this mount, undo the screw, turn it 90 degrees so that these are up and down. So you can actually alter this to your liking. That's a really awesome thing about it. Also, there's one other really cool thing. Let me change the camera angle. So as you can see here, maybe, I have the GoPro accessory already attached. Now it actually comes with a washer. That this GoPro accessory comes in the box. It's not attached already. This is something you can attach to it, and you basically remove the screw that attaches this head, and you replace it with the GoPro mount. Now the same fastener, or the same Allen wrench that actually uses to tighten this to the handlebar. And I will say this as well, it does come with spacers depending on the size of your handlebar, so even though I'm using no spacer, there are multiple sizes that comes with it. This Allen key is also the same key that actually takes the bolt that actually puts it onto the mount itself. This Allen screw that actually is designed to go for the GoPro, or any other action camera, I shouldn't say that, is the same threading as the actual GoPro key as well, or bolt. So, in this case, I can take my GoPro Hero 9, slide it into the mount, attach it, and I can use the Allen key screw that came with it if you'd like that instead. I like this so that if I stop somewhere, I'm going inside to eat or something, I like to take my electronics with me. So I'd rather have it so I don't have to get an Allen key out, personally. And now I have a complete system, one mount, without all the clutter. This is taking two mounts that I had on my bike and putting it into one. That's awesome. And not only does it do it into one, it's a better system in both regards for me. Now, of course, I'm dropping the GoPro, right? I can't stick it up. I can actually, technically, if I really wanted to, I could take this mount out and swap it around, I guess. But then I'll lose the capability of the phone mount. I think this is fantastic. Now, I can actually bring this whole arm up at an angle. I can change the angle on my bar, and that'll change the angle of this. But it's a great system because it declutters my handlebar. And that's what I've been looking for a long time, is a way to declutter my handlebar. So if you want to see more about this specific mount, check out my Bike Geeks channel. I'll link that video down below. So there you have it. That is the mobile mount from Peak Design. When I first received it, I looked at it and I thought, well, that's interesting. I wonder how that plate really works really well. I wonder how well it grabs onto the bike mount. You know, a lot of small questions, and every single time I was met with great answers or great reception from me from actually using it. The vehicle mount works fantastic. The bike mount works fantastic. The tripod works fantastic. The wall mount works fantastic. And now I haven't had to use the universal adapter, but I can't see it not working fantastic. So they have more mounts coming. like I said in the video multiple times probably, that they do have some wireless charging capability coming to the auto mount. They also are going to have a desktop, essentially one, that you can just pop it on there, and it's also going to be wireless charging for that regard as well. Though, of course, you're only going to find the hard mount, the hard lock attachments on the places that it needs to be very secure. Everything else is going to be the soft lock, which just the magnets, of course. And depending on where you're placing it is whether or not it's going to need that little square thing sticking out to kind of hold it from bouncing down. These guys put a lot of thought and effort into this. For everything that I've seen, it sounds like 4 years of planning and development went into this product, and it feels exactly that way. I can't imagine how many times they redesigned because they polished it to a point that no other mount, no other universal capable system touches on what this system is. So I really hope that this is their biggest Kickstarter campaign yet, because this is a product that a lot of people will enjoy and works fantastically. So please, you're not helping me at all, you're helping them out. Head over to their Kickstarter page if you're within the time period that the Kickstarter starts, and within that month or so window. Otherwise, if you're watching this video after that Kickstarter campaign is over with, definitely check it directly on the Peak Design website as well. I have all of the links down below, but I try to link it here at the end. But if you have any questions at all on any of these products, let me know. Like I said, I did do a more in-depth product one on the bike mount. Wherever that box went, it's probably upstairs yet. That product video will also be put out today, so that video will also be linked down below and at the end. So, thank you for watching. Comment, subscribe, share this video if you can. Definitely give love to Peak Design, because these guys, I don't know where they get their engineers, but they do some fantastic thinking outside the box. Every product that I've ever touched that has their name on it, I leave thinking that solves an issue, and it fits its niche extremely well. So, to Peak Design, thank you for putting the love into a product that people will want to use. I've had so many mounts that over how many years that I just eventually burn out on, or like my bike mount, I take the case off. Every time I'm done using it on my bike, I take it off because I like to be able to wirelessly charged, things like that. I always took my quad lock case off because I hated the indentation and the big bulge stick out thing. Hated it. This, I will gladly keep in my pocket. So, while I don't get to use this anymore, and I loved this case, and I only had it for so long, now I get to use this case. But I'll be able to mount my phone to all the various surfaces that I have. So, to Peak Design, thank you. Thank you for pouring your love and thought and engineering into a fantastic product. Thank you for everything you do. And that said, thank you for watching this video. Thanks for sticking to the end. Watch the other videos I have if you can. Watch the full bike mount video if you're interested in that. And until next time, we'll see you later.